Okay, great. Welcome back. So from here, now me it's line 22. Yours might probably be near there. Okay, I guess I don't need a space between the head and the body, right? Okay, so is this large enough for you? Well, let me make it just a little bit bigger here. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna right under the well, actually under inside the div that is our container. I'm gonna type in FORM, enter. Now the action attribute is a URL. In our case, we're just going to use an anchor, and it's where we send the form data to. And then next is the method. It actually tells what the method is here, but the method is basically the way that we send that information using HTTP. It could be post, POST, or it could be get, GET. I'm going to stick with get, and I use capitals because it's an environmental variable and it's a constant. Okay, so that's just for my programming. And then there's also name, the name of the form, NAME equals, I'm going to call it input form. And let me make this a bit smaller so I'll get this on one page. Okay, and I'm also going to add an ID. ID equals input form. Input capital FORM. Please get your camel case. All right, so inside the form, I'm going to, this is called, now I use detailed form on line 20 here for me. So I'm going to be detailed about it. Okay, and I'm going to create a purely organizational structure here just to be detailed. And that's called a field set. FIELD enter. And inside this field set is going to set up some nice formatting because forms can get complicated. And each field set, in this case, has a legend. So I type in LEGEND, enter. And I don't hit return, okay? So I'm going to just say personal, PERSONAL, space data, colon, comma, space. Now, I don't need the space. But yeah, I don't even need the colon, okay? I'm just thinking. So that's a legend. So now I'm going to start my form. So in this case, just to be dramatic, I need a drum roll. I need a drum roll sound. But I'm going to skip a line and we'll come back to it. You'll see why. We won't always do that. So here it comes. Input, INPUT, enter. And it gives me the type of input to be recognized by the page as text. And now I'm going to say, give it an ID, and in this case, I'm going to pick F, lowercase, it's all lowercase, F underscore name. Let me figure out what that could possibly be, right? And then I'm going to use name, NAME, and name will be the variable name that the value of this input element will take, the value, F underscore name. Okay, so I'm setting up a variable type, all right, a variable name. And let me make this smaller so you can see it on one line. So I'm going to go ahead and put in placeholder, PLACEHOLDER, just to give an example of what it is. And I'm going to, the placeholder will be capital name, question mark. Now, it could be like anything to say, hey, input a name, something like that. The placeholder is put in placement inside the little form box to be able to help the user tell them what they want. So let me go and let me find out where this page is, and I'll do it so you don't have to do it. This is what it looks like so far. Okay, so this is what I got. I got forms, H1 and the HR and detailed form example and personal data, and this is the legend, and I got my name in there. Okay, so that's what I have so far as a form. Now, I want to complete this thought of why I put that space in there because I want to, since I'm being detailed, I want to introduce the label tag, L-A-B-E-L, L-A-B-E-L, enter. And a label always follows the ID. The label for always follows an ID. All right, well, the ID for me on line 27 is F_name. So I type in for F_name, okay, and I give it a label. And so this would be F-I-R-S-T, name, okay? So this is labeling this form for the user. Later on, I won't be including labels because it's more of a formatting thing, but it'll, when you're first learning forms, it's a good thing just to follow through, okay? I'm going to do another one. Okay, I'm going to go input, IMPUT, enter. Now, this will be text, a text file, or a text input. And I'm going to give it an ID again. It's another one. ID equals L_name. And I bet you can figure out what that is. And the name of this, of the variable, will be L_name. And I'm going to go ahead, don't want to, but just want to be specific, put in placeholder, Placeholder, and it would be like last name. Actually, maybe this should be first name. Okay, messed up there, but yeah, that's good. So I added that. And I went ahead and put the label in here so I won't have to be like editing around. But yours should look just like this. Okay, and so this is easy, right? L-A-B-E-L, enter. For is an attribute that always follows an ID. So for this one, L_name, we have that attribute. And I'll just go ahead and say LAST name, colon. Okay. So again, I want to look at this and see what this looks like. So I'll go there and double click it, and that's what it looks like. So we got first name here as our label, and our last name here is our label. They're side by side, which I guess is okay, but I kind of just want them one after the other. But that's okay. I kind of wish they were bigger, okay? Because I can't see them real well. So let me think here. This is in a div, and it's in a form. So if I go up here to my head of my document after the title, and I put in style, S-T-Y-L-E, enter, I can put my CSS. So I'm going to grab that div, div, enter, div, and I'll put in a CSS rule, okay? So that's going to be, I've got to do two of these, so just div, and you can change the font size, font_size, space, equals space, 2, EM. And the EM means that, what? That it's relative, twice relative to the container it's in. Well, the div down here is inside the body as a direct child, so it'll just be 2EM. Right? And while I'm at it, I'm going to take all inputs in PUTS, and I'm going to set the font size of that, F1T, I'll go ahead and spell it, S-I-Z-E, space, colon, to 1EM. It just seems to work out better that way. All right? So I'm here, and I'm going to do the magic formatting because I want to clean up my code. I got to take out some of these spaces just to kind of simplify them. I know what I'm doing. Take out some of these spaces, and then right mouse button click, format document. Or I could go Alt-Shift-F. Okay, I'm learning that myself. So this makes it look good, and let's take another look at it. Here. All right, so this is after I put the CSS in and I refresh. Okay, so that kind of looks good. You can see the form field. You can see the labels, follow the ID. Now this kind of is small. The actual the actual input. Oh, I did it wrong. I made a mistake. It's not inputs, plural. It's input. Sorry. I misgrabbed an element. Now I'll grab the element. Okay, I understand it now. So let me hit refresh. Yeah, okay, that's bigger, and that's what I was looking for. Okay, we're starting to put, and again, you can put names in here, right? This is data, right? And they're going, those values are going into the variable name here. Okay, with that said, I'll see you in the next video.